Hello everybody, good afternoon. It's Kristi here at My Artful Adventures, and today we are in an event with Take 5. This is our Wednesday with Take 5. So we have a few presenters from our group here today. It's a Facebook group, Take 5. And so we like to, right now we are doing events on Wednesdays and Fridays. So sometimes not everybody is able to, come in and be part of the group. They may already have had something scheduled, and so it's a work in progress. And so thanks so much for popping in to join us. And I've got a couple of fun things to do today. I want to be able to bring you a fun couple of things to make. We're going to make ornaments out of paper rosettes. And so I'm going to show you how to do that and hopefully make that, somewhat easy to follow along. Let me see here. Hang on just one second. I want to be able to put myself over in the Take 5 group. Let's see. Sometimes this takes a second, right? Let's see. There it is. Okay. I've almost got it for us. All right. We're good to go. So, let's see. Hey, Kristi, how are you? Kristi from Funky Junk Inspiration is going to be on following me today. And let's see. Right before me was Jeannie with Clifton's Crafty Casa. Hi, Melanie. So anyway, let's go ahead. It's right on time, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, I'm Kristi here at My Artful Adventures, and today we're going to be making some paper rosette ornaments. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put you down here to see my workspace, and there we go. Hopefully that's not too crooked. Okay, I might have to adjust that in a few minutes. But so we're going to make a tree and we're going to make a pine cone. And so I've already done all the cutting and the scoring because that takes a little bit to accomplish and get all of that squared away. So that's kind of boring. And I wasn't sure if I tried to do all of that on camera if I would get done. So I have put post-it notes on so that you can see what it is that we are, what the dimensions are and how that goes right now. Not right now, but whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start with the tree. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. And I'll take this apart. And I've tried to adjust these in measurements. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of make sure, see if I really did. No, this one I did not. This is supposed to be 11 and a half. And what I found was I was thinking that these measurements were all 12 inches. But when you do 12 inches, you're going to have to snip off this last thing. I'm pretty sure that's what I figured out. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this on here though. So I'm going to lay them out here so you can get the measurements if you want to. Here's 11 and a half by 3/4 of an inch, and you just need one strip. So I've got that circled, how many you need. And then an 11 and a half by 1 inch, just one of those. And then we need 8 inches by 1 1/4 inch. You want to get 2 of those. And then 2 strips that are 9 by 1 3/8. And then 2 strips that are 10 inches by 1 1/2, okay? Oh my goodness. You're watching on the big screen. Martha, are you watching us on, oh yeah, you're still on. Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're on your computer, I don't know how you would do that. Unless you have, if you have, what do you call it? If you've shared it to your TV, I think you could still, well, no, because it changes it on your phone. That, my dear, I don't know. I do not have a good answer for that. Okay, so I'm going to leave these a second. Did I cut them? No, these are still 12 inches. And I'm going to leave those for just a moment And I'll show you why I said they have to be that 11.5 inches. So let's just go ahead. You know what? I'm going to start with let's start with the big ones. Well, no. Let's start with the small ones. And then we can work up to those, because these are only one strip and we don't have to worry about how those, you know, connect together. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to just, okay, so what I suggest is take your 12 by 12 paper, score it all, and then cut the links that you have here. And that way all your scoring is done and you don't have to mess around with doing all of these tiny little 1/2 inch scores on these little pieces of paper. So just score your 12 by 12 and then cut the strips. So let's do this. Okay, so you can see that it's kind of, you know what, I'm going to see if I can move you down a little closer. Nope, that's as close as we're going to get. I'll just have to hold it up here. So you can see as I folded it up, it's not all lined up, and we want it to line up. And so what we're going to do is just, it's already laying this way. Take it and kind of just maneuver it and kind of shove it over and bend it the other way. And just, you can do it kind of back and forth. And that way you're also able to like squeeze it together like this and get it straight. Because you want it to be straight, right? You want to be able to use your, whoa, what am I doing here? You want it to be all straight. And now you're just going to bring this around together. But now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got one side going down and one side going up. So yes, I was right. You want it to be 11.5 inches. So let's snip this last little one off so we don't have this excess. We'll just get it snipped off. Oh, I need to turn my glue gun on. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this end and put it down. So one is going down, one is going up. Can you see that? One down, one up. We're just going to put a little glue on there. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Thing's trying to come off of there. And just put a little glue on there and then bring it around. And just tuck that down on top. Just put that there, line it up so it's all nice and straight. And that's all we're going to do for that one. So let's go ahead and let's just do that section for these. And I believe, so if you're using one strip, that's the ones that have to have this extra 1/2 inch taken off. You could leave it, but it's just going to be in your way. It's just going to, you know, you're just going to pull it down there and you're going to have like 2 parts right there. So I don't think that sounds like it's going to be fun. Thanks for those of you who shared me out. I appreciate that. Hey, Susan. Yeah, I hope you guys are all, you know, I hope everybody is kind of getting all ready for their holiday. So just squeeze it kind of back and forth. Just maneuver it back and forth and then push it down good so it's all nice and straight. And then just, we're going to put a little bit of glue on one section and then just pull it around. So right now we're just making a little circle with it. It's just all the way around in a circle. And let's just get those ready and then we'll carry on. So now this one, these are 8-inch lengths and 1 1/4 inch high. And we have 2 of those. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold them up first. And isn't that interesting how, like, if you score them all, how they just kind of tend to be all, they're just leaning off over here to the side. And you guys, I know you're probably thinking, I don't know why she's showing ornaments, because it's already so late. Most people would have, you know, their decorating done. But you know what, you guys? This could be something fun that you could do with kids, you know, kids that are a little bit older. And I think they would enjoy this. So I thought, you know, and then you'll have that like in your back pocket for next time. Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid to wonder what we look like on the big screen. Hi, Terry. So, okay, so again, after you get it folded, just kind of maneuver it back and forth. Just squeeze it one way, squeeze it the other. That way you get those all nice and even. I got two that are not behaving there. Let's get those wrangled in there and then this is important to do it like this so that it is even from top to bottom, okay? So, oh, and I did this wrong. Okay, remember how I said we've got to have this one goes down and the next one goes up? So I forgot to do that. So this one I should have started up, but that'll just take a quick minute to refold. Yeah, I don't know, something is kind of wonky right there. Okay. So just make sure that's straight. Okay, now that's going to work. So now, again, we've got this one going up. I don't know. And you might decide you want to do it from the ones going, put your glue on the underside. It doesn't really matter. They're still going to connect. So we'll just put that right there. And then bring it around and just make your circle. So again, we're going to put that on here. My goodness, this kind of reminds me of the book folding. Like folding papers. Oh, yeah, that's true. They would look nice out of some Valentine's papers, but I wanted to do something green for our little trees. Okay, so there's that one. And then this is another one that's got two. So several of these have two. So this one is two pieces that are 9 inches long by 1 3/8 inches tall. So this one will start going down. Do our little accordion folds. Give it a good squeeze back and forth. It's kind of interesting how by doing that you can kind of get it to where you want it. Okay, now this one, okay, so the second one, start with it going up. Go up first. And then it'll be all ready for the direction you need it to go. Okay, and then just every time we have to do this, just kind of give it a good press. Get it all nice and tight. Put a little glue. Stick them together. Yeah, I decided since for the next thing that we've got going on, I might as well just have all of these ready to go. That looks like more than 1/2 inch, but it's kind of deceiving sometimes when you are doing things and you've measured stuff, and sometimes they don't look like they're the right measurement, but you know they are. Okay, so we'll let that one dry. And then these two, we got 2 strips here. These are 10 inches, 2 strips at 10 by 1 1/2 inches high. So this one I'm going to start down, do our accordion fold. I know there's not much in the way of asking questions about this, is there? It's pretty straightforward. As soon as I get these done and I'm not having to pay attention when I'm doing maybe it'll be easier to do a little chit chat at the end, or let me know if you've got any questions. And so, whoops, almost made a mistake. Start this one going up. You know, this is kind of a green color on this side too. This is, you know, more of a solid pattern. So this is what I decided to use for the top. Now the one that we're going to make the pine cone out of, it's got a brown on both sides. So I'm not really sure. I've had a hard time deciding which side I really wanted to use. And I'll show you that in a minute. We'll look at that. Okay, so again, squish it back and forth, straighten it all up this direction. Get a little glue. Okay. And then just tuck it under there. There we go. So that's one thing about using, you know, wet glue, is it does give you just a moment in case you need to straighten them around a little bit more. Okay. So that's all of this part. Okay. There we go. Alrighty, so there are our little circles. So now and some of them standing up, I can't really even tell which way, you know, which order they're going to go in right now. But I'm going to start with, I'm going to give this another minute to dry. So let's start with this next biggest one. And I think what I'm going to do, and so I've got my glue gun here. Let me get it handy. What we have now are, I cut some little circles. These are just like 1-inch circles. You guys, I think this is going so much more quickly than when I have made these in the past. Who knows? Maybe I figured out how to do it better. Okay. So I just made these. I have tons of white cardstock. The white cardstock seems to be a little bit thinner. It's not as heavy, and I use it all the time for for like kind of my samples that I do first when I'm trying to you know, make something and I want to make a sample first. If it's not printed paper that I need, I usually will do that and practice my construction method. And so I've got all of these white, I've got a lot of white paper, of the white cardstock. And so I like to be able to, you know, have it handy. And so it makes, you know, I'm always using it. I'm using that white cardstock all the time for different things. Okay, get that a little bit larger there. Okay, so I've got these handy. We've got our glue gun here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to push these little things together. We're going to kind of bring them all together. Bring them in tight like this if you can. And I'm going to kind of sit it down in here. And and then kind of bend it towards the center. I don't know if my hands are probably in the way, you guys. And then just kind of, and even maybe grab a couple of pieces across from each other and bend it down like that. And then you can kind of wrangle it in if you put it in a jar lid. You can shove it up to one side and it still is going to help you. Now, I really wanted to, I should have flipped this the other way. Hang on, let me try to flip it over here, see if I can flip it. No, I cannot. Let's do it this way. Let's do it like this. There we go. And then you want to tighten the center and kind of try and, you know, make it as even as you can. Now we're going to put our hot glue on there and we'll still have just a minute to, it's kind of like the liquid glue. We're going to have a minute to try and get it. Oh my goodness. get it to stick. And we're also going to put some on this. Man, that thing is hard to get that out of. Oh, now I'm going to have to be really super careful so I don't get burned. Let me grab some tweezers. We're going to have little glue things everywhere. Okay, there we go. Now, when you get this down, now you can kind of even this out. Just push it up there so you know that your center is tight. And just kind of hold that for a moment so it will cool down and kind of dry. That's okay. Jeannie, don't worry. I tell you, sometimes when we're in the midst of showing what we're making, it's hard to remember all the things and all the people. Now this one is a little bit, it's going to be okay. You can see it's not perfect, and that's going to be fine. We've got it held together back here, and let's just go with that. Now, I'm going to flip this inside out, because that just was easier to start with. And just gather it up in here, kind of as best you can. Kind of get it going towards the center. And then just kind of bend it down. And then you can kind of, there we go. Whoa! It just kind of wants to pop back out. All right. So while I'm holding that, no, you know what? Oh, I have an idea. Let's put our, put the tweezers on there first of all. Oh man, I gotta really squeeze hard on this thing. Oh, I forgot to put any in the middle to start with. I think it kind of helps you round some of that up to start with. Okay, and then just pull it kind of tight. Kind of push it up against the side of the inside of the lid. There we go. And I'm going to put this down. There. Just kind of push it around. And then you got to let it cool a second to make sure that that glue is going to set. I do not use hot glue very often. Man, I have really burned myself with hot glue. Give me some hearts if you have burned yourself with hot glue before. Can we consider ourselves a real crafter if we haven't burned ourselves with hot glue before? Oh my goodness, it's terrible. Okay, and you can see, you know, it might not, there they go. It might not be just perfect, but you know, that'll work. It's gonna work for us. So here's our next one, and you just keep doing these, right? Oh my god, I knew I wasn't gonna be the only one for that. Oh, let me do my new trick. Put that there. Get some glue on there. Plus, you know, if you were doing this with somebody else, they could get some of this ready for you, right? And I got to do this before that gets set. So just kind of squeeze it up in here. This one is kind of misbehaving. Oh my goodness. There we go. And just shove it over there. Give it a little glue to give it a little hold while work your magic around the outside here. Uh-oh. I got one that did not pop in here. Oh, I got it. Oh, I was afraid that one wasn't going to work. Okay, now this one. Get our little base down here. And then if you just kind of let go, they kind of, you know, put themselves where they want to, and they kind of even out anyway. Oh, look, I've got, look, I can move the fan around here and got some kind of special thing around my picture. It just takes a moment to do that, for it to grab. Okay, and then just two more here. Now this one, let me see, this might, got a little smaller lid here. Oh, I don't know what I've used that for. This just stays in my craft room. I have a couple of little lids that I keep in my drawer in case I want to use them for something. Sometimes I might contain, it might be something that I try and keep contained. Whoops. Let's get our glue on. And sometimes I will set them under something while I'm trying to take a picture. You know, I want a little bit more. Man, that is so hard to squeeze that glue out. Okay. All right. Oh, this is going to be, and then if you can kind of grab a couple across from each other, that's not going to fit. That lid's too small. Kind of let them go a little bit and try and grab a couple kind of across from each other, and that kind of helps to get them where they need to go. And you still, same thing, just shove it up against the side. It doesn't matter if your lid is pretty large. There. You can kind of pinch them and make sure they're little, that they're, you know, kind of their folds are tight. I think that's gonna do it. And then our last one. But yeah, it kind of helps to turn them inside out so that you've got them go in the direction that you need. Boy, you guys, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to finish these in my hour. I might have made some of these to start with to get both projects done. But you can't hold too many of those, or it kind of impedes getting them to lay down. I can't even grab. This one is kind of hard. This little guy. Okay, he's coming together. Coming together. There we go, we did it. And now I'm going to put him in the small one. There. Okay, so when you've got the small ones, if you can get them in a smaller lid, I think that's helpful. Very good. We got him in there. And just a little bit there to kind of start holding it. And then we'll put this on. Okay, and even this 1 inch, so make sure that this one on this small one, make sure your 1 inch circle is pretty much in the middle there, okay? All right, now we just have to stack them up. Okay, make sure you know which goes where. Okay, and that's all we're gonna do. Okay, so now just put some more hot glue here. And then just stack them up. kind of make sure you've got, I would just pick them up so you can make sure they're more centered, right? There we go. And the middle one, the two little ones. Oh my goodness, this is gonna have lots of little glue things hanging out. Okay, just one more there. And there we have it. There's our little tree shape, but he needs something else, right? So let's give him a little star on top, and we need something to hang it if we want it to be an ornament. So I'm going to put a little length of, I just have this baker's twine. I'm just going to use that for this. And I've got some stars that I have punched out of some gold foil. And I'm going to get some glue. And I'm going to put some glue right here. And I want my string to be coming out of one of the points like this. And now what we're going to do to be able to get this in here is we're going to put this toothpick down here so it'll like slide in right here, but we don't need a whole bunch, right? It doesn't need to be a lot. And I'm going to use the point of the toothpick right here because it's a little bit smaller. I wonder if, let me try using a little bit of hot glue to get it on there. Just a little bit over here on this, just a dab. There. See, I just have a little bit. I'm going to put that there. And I don't really want to mess around with trying to get the glue. I would press it together a little bit more, but I've tried to do that in the past. Oh man, that thing is hard. It is. Oh my goodness. Then you've got glues that's oozing all around the outside edges, and it just is kind of a pain. I think I'm not really going to worry too much about that on this one. I think I'm just going to try it like this. Just line it up. Because nobody's going to spend that much time. Well, I don't know. Here, let me try to put just a tiny bit on the side points. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's not so bad. Maybe. I don't know. Man, if I could get a tiny dab of that hot glue on there, that would probably be great. It'd probably grab real quick. Oh yeah, isn't this fun, Terry? There we go. And like I said, you know, with some help, I think, oh, this is way easier, you guys, to do it like this. You know what? I got another toothpick here. Let me try and get some and wipe it on these other points. Just a tiny bit. Oh, that's way too much. Let me see if I can get just a tiny dab. I think I'm just gonna have made a mess. Oh, let me, haha, tweezers. Hey, you guys, who knew I was gonna need my tweezers? I think I could just trim off that excess glue with my, with some scissors. Let me grab my other. And now we don't need a whole lot. It's because, you know, we've got the base. And so this can't be any more than whatever that height was. Like, was that one ½ an inch? Or I think it's maybe 3/4 of an inch. So we know that we can't have this too long or it's going to stick out. But I'm just going to snip that off. And I'm just going to use this kind of glue in here. And stick that little guy down there. And now we've got Now we've got our little tree with our little star topper. And could be an ornament. There we go. So we got that one done. Let's move on real quick. And we've got to do our, let's try to get our pine cone done. I feel like now I feel like I'm doing the speed crafting now. Oh, how often do you feel like you're speed crafting? You've got something that you need to get done. So here's one that is, oh, let me see if I cut that. So we need one strip that is, nope, I did not. We need one strip that's 11.5 by 3/4 of an inch. We need, now I don't know, now I didn't trim this off because I'm not sure if you use your 2 strips, I'm not sure that you need that. So we'll pay attention to that one this right now. Let's check it out. Okay, so just, now I've shown you how we've got to get all these folded and then do the maneuvering and get it straightened out and flat. So let's see what we can get accomplished this time. Yeah, aren't the little layers cute? I love doing that. Oh, hi, Regina. Crafters that work with hot glue don't have fingerprints. Jeannie, that's so true, right? Okay, so just line it up. Now, you guys, I'm not sure if which do you think we should use for the pine cones? Should we use the side that has this brown, design, or should we go ahead and use the one that has the wood grain? I like the color of the wood grain. I'm not gonna lie about that. I really like that brown color. I'm thinking I'm gonna just use that side for the pine cone that's showing. What do you think? Let me know if you like the wood grain and think I should use that. Okay, so let's try this one that has the 12 inches, and let's see if this lines up and we don't need to remove 1/2 inch. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the wood grain too, Regina. I think that'd be pretty. We have a bunch of live oaks in our yard. So we don't have, it's just so funny. We used to have trees that had some pine cones when we lived in Minnesota. They were kind of messy. We didn't have them all the time. The trees wouldn't make them like every year. And sometimes they would just be a real big mess. Sometimes it wasn't much of anything. Okay, so now we just do this. And then once you massage them back and forth so they really will work well, then tap them like this so that you've got them nice and kind of squared up and straight. Oh, and I did this wrong. I need one that starts with the little tab going up. Shoot. Why is that so hard to remember? You just, I think we have things that we just do we've done them so often and you just forget. You just get started and you do it the way you've always done it. You just forget to turn one the other direction, right? And see, this is what I was saying. It doesn't matter if you put it on the underside or, up and over. Okay, so let's see. Nope, this works just fine. So the 12, if you have 2 pieces that are the 12 inches, just leave them there 12 inches. That was what I was thinking. I was trying to remember if that was right. Okay. So we're just going to get these guys all together here. And so this one, we've got 4 pieces of 8 inches by 1 1/4. But we're going to make 2 rosettes out of this. So don't get them all. Don't do all 4 of them together. Don't glue the 4 together. We still only want 2. So Look how off they are, like after you, on that initial fold. So just kind of give them a bend. Okay. Okay, I'm going to remember up this time. Get it started going up. Hey, Tina, how are you doing? Yeah, I like the wood. I'm going for the wood grain. When we get ready to flip them over, we're going to use the wood grain as the outer edge. I think that'll be pretty. But we have live oaks, and oh my goodness, so now we've gone from pine cones to having these teeny little acorns. Oh my goodness, and this year they have been super plentiful. They are just all in the grass everywhere. And boy, and out on our deck, they fall off of the tree onto the deck, and you can't go out there without your shoes on or you'll be sorry. They're like painful. It's kind of a version of like stepping on Legos. Okay, so this is the same size. So this rosette will be the same size as that one. We need two because we want our pine cone, the shape of the pine cone, we want it to kind of have the center of it larger. Okay, and so your second one, go up, start it up. I'm checking out my time, trying to watch my time. Oh, Tina, Tina, you know what? Some of these are not, they aren't necessarily my ideas. Sometimes I take an idea and I'll kind of tweak it because it seems like, you know, I might find a different way that kind of works better for me. And I think, well, other people might like to. And you know what? I sometimes like to use even old ideas. There's old ideas that nobody, you know, that a lot of people haven't seen. So it's new to them. So I always have kind of fun like that, whether it's new ideas or old ideas. Bringing back the old. One time I was planning to make something one time, and I had never seen it. And while I was trying to figure it out and get it all squared away and ready to show, I was at a craft retreat, and I go, I have never seen this. And she just laughed and she goes, you have never seen that kind of card? I said, no. So now this one is 2 pieces that are 10 inches by 1.5. And she goes, oh my goodness. She says, I feel like that style of a card has been around forever. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I have never seen it, and I think it's kind of cool. I think that was that never-ending card. I'll have to show that again one of these days. I think when I showed it before, it was in a private group, so I'll have to show that again. It's kind of fun. It's very interesting. Oh man, this one is not wanting to... He's not wanting to go back the other direction. All right. What in the world? Oh, he's being naughty. Okay, okay, there we go. There we go. All right. And this one, again, on your second one, start up with that one. If you started down on the first one, start up. Man, this piece of paper is not wanting to like bend easily back and forth. So if you get a piece of paper like that, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it go more just lined up first. I'm going to just push it so it goes together. There we go. Now I can kind of work it back and forth and then make sure it's flat. So if you have a piece of paper that does that, don't feel like it was you. It could be the paper. You know, and it's so funny because between these 2 pieces of paper, and I think they came out, no, they weren't. I was going to say, I thought they came out of the same pack of paper, the same collection. But I don't think they, well, I'm not sure. I think they were pieces that were kind of to be mixed in with a lot of the current collections with Close to My Heart for this November, December time frame. But this piece, this brown, is so much, it just almost felt thicker. And I thought that was so weird. You don't always feel like, you know, if you've got one brand of papers and they're, you know, like the pattern papers, you don't usually notice them feeling, you know, that much different in weight, but those sure did. Okay, now let's get some more of our little circles here. Let's get our lid, and let's see what we can maneuver here. Okay. So this one, yeah, I want to use I think I want to use that brown wood grain to be the outside for our pine cone. I'm just going to kind of tip it in here. Whoops. I forgot to, what can I put on here? Oh, let's set this guy here. I forgot to get anything ready. And you could even use a piece of your, this is pretty sturdy. You could use that for your circle if you wanted to. Just a piece of your pattern paper. And that would work fine. Let's get this ready. Man, you gotta be organized, you guys. All right, talking about organized, I've been trying to clean up the craft room. That was not my favorite thing to do. So I'm still on a mission to do that. Still working on it. It's not gonna be completely finished, but I gotta get it dejunked and get it to where I can find some stuff. Or actually, how about just cleaned up so that when people go through, they don't wonder what in the world has happened. Well, they know what's happened. They know I was here. Okay, well, happy birthday. Oh, yes. Yeah, Martha, they would be great for that. Okay, so there's the first one. Let's get going here. All right. And let's just push this down here. There, that one popped down there pretty easy. Oh shoot, I forgot to get my circle out. That would be fun. And you know, especially to just, well, it takes almost if you were now just to make the rosettes, that is a fun thing to do because you can use them you can put some rosettes on cards or, you know, things like that, and give them some dimension. And that would be super for scrap busting. Now, this project took almost, I mean, each one of these, the tree and this pine cone, took almost a full sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So, and I really would recommend, you know, take your 12 by 12 paper and then go ahead and, you know, score it first. Score at 1/2 inch increments across the whole paper and then turn to cut those off, right? Why is dejunking always like it's like a constant, you know? Always something that has to be done. Well, when you're always bringing stuff in, when you find the new stuff and you feel like you need it, you want it, it just, you know, it just gets out of hand, right? Okay, so let's get this in here. Tip it down. And sometimes you got to kind of, you know, make sure that you've got them pinched and their accordion is going the right way, or else you get one going the wrong way. Then they're hard to line up after that. They're kind of hard to get going the right direction. Okay, but just kind of, you know, let it go as much as you can in through here, and it'll kind of even itself out like that. Okay, just kind of push it up there against the lid to hold it tight. I don't, even though hot glue is so quick, you gotta let it cool a second. Did you write all the strip sizes on one sheet? All the strip sizes are on each, they're on each little bundle, and I showed it at the beginning, Tina, so you can see at the beginning. Okay. And that's one nice thing about being able to do these lives and still come back to see the replays. Even if you don't, you know, make it from the very beginning, you can always go back and see anything that you missed, right? Okay, there we go. Sometimes it takes a moment longer to get them wrangled than others. Okay, I might have to get another glue stick in there. My goodness, that almost stuck to the tweezers. Hey, Deborah. How are you? Yeah, no, yeah, don't worry. You're not really late. Don't worry about it. Okay, and then one more tiny one. I think for the tiny one, I think I am going to use one of these because it's brown. Then if it sticks out, it won't show so much. Oh, and it seems like the little one was nice to have the smaller lid to get it into. See if you can kind of get this little star shape and then kind of get it bent. You gotta let go of some of it though, because you can't get all of it to bend. If you're holding too many of the little pleats, it's hard to, whoops, it's hard to get it to go down. But I have found if you try to stand it up in its outside circle and then bend it in, it does seem like it works a lot easier. I can't remember what the first time I did this. I don't know what I had a lot of trouble trying to get them where they needed to go. And then I found out that if you stand that circle and then kind of bend them inward, it just seems like it works so much easier. Okay, so now on this one, we are going to, let's just start here. So here's our middle one. This is going to make a super pretty pine cone color, you guys. I'm real happy with that. So again, we're just going to put some more hot glue here on the bottom. You could use regular glue. You're just going to have to make it, you know, for another second. And again, we're just layering them up from large to small there. Just like that. Okay. And on this one, what I've done is I've taken this other one that's the same size and gone down one more. I'm thinking I had another. Oh, I can't remember now if I was supposed to have one more. We maybe could have had one more, but then it would be kind of a funny shape. We were already down one size here. You know, I can't remember, you guys, but this is what I'm going to do on this one. On the bottom of this one, I'm going to flip it over so that our color that we're using is right here. Oh, great. Yeah, Tina, they're just right there at the beginning I went through. Okay, and then just put our little circles together there. So it kind of, you know, comes down a little bit more. I don't know, this one, I wouldn't want to go too much smaller than this against this size. I don't think that would, you know, work out the best. But for some reason, I don't know. Well, yeah, if you did one more, that would make kind of a funny shape. Okay, so now this, I'm going to use a little, oh, I was going to make a little bow. Well, we can do that in a second. So this one, I'm just going to use a piece of twine to be the hanger. And I'm going to cut it off. And just make a little overhand knot. So just wrap it around once. Pull it through. Hold on to the little tails here. And then just work the main part of the knot down. Okay. And now I'm going to put some, just this glue, it's going to dry clear. And so I'm going to put that along this knot to make sure that it will stay closed. Does that make sense? I don't want it to come undone. And now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim off the bottom of this knot. Because now I'm just going to glue it here. Oh man, that's hard. I'm just squeezing with all my might there. Okay, so we've got the hot glue, and I'm going to set this straight up and down into that hot glue and kind of give that just a moment. And now you could either tie a little bow around it, or, you know, whatever you'd like to do. You could do, there's a lot of things. You know, a lot of these you could put like a bead on here to come up from, you know, from the bottom here of your, whatever you decide. You can use ribbon, you can use whatever. I gotta make sure that's in there. And I could have actually put one of those toothpicks on there, kind of stuck it up inside that knot too. That might have been a good idea. And then put down into the center there. But I think with that hot glue, it's not heavy. You guys, it's just, you know, a small paper thing. And so it's not heavy at all. Let me see if I can't grab a tiny bit of red something. Be kind of pretty. Hang on one second. Oh, here, this will be perfect. And then when this is, hopefully that's, you know, enough. And then I'm just going to tie this around here. I'm trying to be easy right now to give that a chance to finish drying. Just going to tie it on. A lot of times I'll take my whole length of ribbon to make a bow on the end when I don't really know how much I want to cut off. I think maybe a thinner ribbon could have been nice, but you know, it's kind of festive. We'll let this guy be kind of festive. How about that? Those certainly aren't ribbon scissors. I could use a pair of sharp scissors and designate them as ribbon scissors. I used to have a pair, and well, actually it was probably those, and now they've caught enough paper that they're not that sharp anymore. But those are my little fussy cut scissors, and I love them. I've had them for years and years. But there we go. There's the little pine cone, and here is the little Christmas tree, you guys. So I did it. I did it all within my hour. I wasn't sure I was going to. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Appreciate you sending me out there. Yeah, Mary, thanks. But you guys, isn't that cute? And, you know, it takes a little fiddling around, but, you know, like I said, kids could help do accordion folds. You might want to, you know, older kids, you could probably use, you know, help with the scoring if you wanted to, but, you know, it's just something. And like if you're in an area where maybe the kids are getting out of school or something, you know, it would be something fun to do. Today, my granddaughter this was her last day of school. She got out early, so she's already home. So our winter break begins. My daughter kept saying something about it was going to be spring break. And I go, it's not spring, it's winter. And then she just laughed and she looked outside and she goes, oh yeah. She goes, I'm kind of used to this temperature and what it looks like out here being spring. Nope, this is winter. But there we go. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me today. And I will be back on again Friday. I'll be on at noon Eastern. So come back. We'll have another Friday Friends Creative event with Take 5. And so I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. If you make one of these, I hope you'll come over and share it with us so we know that you did that. Thank you. Bye-bye.